Hello and welcome, I'm your host, Casually Farms, and today we're on Ray County, Missouri, a map that's created by No Creeks Farm. It is a gorgeous, beautiful map. I will link in the description down below to his Patreon page if you guys want to get this map yourself. But today we need to get going, and we have a tractor that is ready to be picked up that we had some issues with last fall, that it's finally getting some work done on it, and the shop has called and said it is ready to go. So we need to head on over and grab our gooseneck trailer. So we're gonna get this thing hooked up, head on into town, grab our tractor, come on back, and we need to pull out the combine and get that thing looked over one last time before we start picking some wheat that is across the field. So let's head on into town, get our tractor picked up. Now, I have not touched many things on this farm build. This is all designed by No Creek Farms. I've only changed a couple things. For instance, I had changed the two barns that are over here, the two hay barns. These two there, I've only changed those things kind of around to kind of make it suit my play style a little bit. But basically, we have 45 head of cattle right here, and then over on the other side, you can kind of see them up there if I kind of tilt up. There's about another 25 baby cattle that are over there, a little calf shed that will grow up, and we'll be able to sell them for money. At this point in time, they're just beef cattle. I'm still trying to figure out and play around and try to figure out how we potentially want to move in to do some dairy stuff. But for now, we're just dealing with some beef, and they are hungry because we have no food for them at the moment. So we need to get stuff going here. We need to head on into town and pick up our tractor, head on back, pull the combine out, and go over once with that. And this wheat field just right across the field is ready to rock and roll. So we should be able to hop into that field and get some harvesting done there. It is August time frame, so that stuff is ready to go. And then we need to get some silage done along with some of this grass right here mowed. So we got a lot of work to do that we need to get going because those cows are hungry. And before you know it, it will be wintertime. But let's not talk about that. Let's deal with what today is. All right, we'll hop out here and take a look and see where they have left our tractor. So we'll hop into here, take a quick gander. All right, they said the tractor is out back. So we're going to head on over there in the back of the dealership here and pick up our tractor. Now, the tractor that we are picking up is an International 856. Let's get this bad boy. There it is. That thing is all beautiful and glory. Ooh-wee, that thing is gorgeous. All right, let's get the ramps unfolded here. We'll hop out and grab the tractor. Oh, this thing is beautiful. This is a beautiful tractor. All right, let's get this thing loaded on up. Now, it might be a little bit of a tight fit. I have not had this tractor on this trailer before. And we'll just see if we can make sure we kind of line everything up here. Just like that. It fits perfect. Fits perfect. All right, right about there looks good. So let's shut you off, and then let's get some straps on. All right, let's get into the truck, and off we go. Let's bring it on home. Get that folded up there. We'll wait till that gets done, and then we can take off. Let's roll. Let's get this thing parked out here out of the way, which I think the best spot down is going to be down around the corner here and be able to kind of just park it. We can unload the tractor itself, which we can actually just bring on over there, and we'll just park the trailer for that way it's out of the way. We don't have to move it again. So we're just gonna unload you here, unstrap all the straps. It's all ready to go. We'll get this thing backed up into that auger over here. That way, that thing is ready for grain when the time comes, which shouldn't be too terribly far away because we're going to go pick some wheat here shortly. Let's get this thing kind of situated. Maybe, let's see here. I got to kind of get this thing so it's not really in the way as we kind of turn with the wagons. There we go. That's all situated. Let's shut that thing off. Let's go park this thing. And then we need to go into the shed and we need to get the combine out and ready to go. Now we do have some stuff just kind of lying around the yard. It's nice for when you need some extra parts here and there, if you know. All right, let's get this truck over here and kind of parked out of the way. Don't really need it at this moment. So we'll just kind of leave this thing right about here. All right, let's get into the shed here and let's get the combine all pulled out and situated. All right, we'll take a quick tour here. We do have the Gleaner N7. Very nice mod. Very nice. Designed by Farm Hub. I will give you his description for his itch page and all that stuff in the description down below. We do have the International 7140 with the front wheel assist. This is an identical tractor to what I actually get to drive in the fall time. My grandpa's actual tractor right there. Minus the hookups for that there. But then we got the Kinsey 3600 12 row. And then we got a 5130 Massey Ferguson silage chopper. So let's hop into this thing. We do need to pull it out. Need to get the header hooked up and go through, just make sure that we didn't miss anything like on the teeth and all that kind of stuff. Then we should be able to go across the road, start picking some wheat. Get that bad boy hooked up. All right, let's get this thing kind of out here and let's hop out and take a quick look. Everything's looking mighty fine here. We got everything. The sieve set on the back side. Everything's looking good. Fans moving, which is good. All right, let's go take a look at the cutting teeth up front. They all look like they are there. Perfect. Everything's ready to rock and roll. All right, we'll get this thing fired up before we cross the road here. We'll let this car kind of pass here. Get this thing fired up. I think we got 2 cars there, and then we should be ready to rock and roll. All right. 1 car, 2 car. 2 car. There's the second car. All right, let's go. Straight across the way. Drop this thing down in and let's start harvesting. Now we're going to kind of pick this little area right here. We do need to put on the straw swath, but I would like to make kind of a single pass here all the way around the field. So let's actually start working our way down the way here. Now man, I do like this setup. This is nice. This is a little Gleaner N7 Series 3. It's a fantastic combine. We'll have to hop out. Let's hop out that we have all the sieves set, that we're not losing a whole bunch of stuff in the back. So let's hop on out here. And excuse me, that's pretty dusty. Do not do that again. It does look like everything is halfway. You know, we got a couple pods from the wheat that are kind of still back here, but it's okay. It's doing just fine. So let's hop back into this thing and let's continue on our way. Now we do own a couple fields. We do own fields. Let's pull this up here. We do own fields. 19, 20, 16, and 17. We'll kind of zoom out so you guys can see the rest of the map real quick. It is a 1X map, and it's just a gorgeous map. There's another farm up here that you guys can start with if you want. Or you guys can build your own one somewhere as well. But this is a gorgeous map. Not quite 100% done. He's still working on the co-op that's up there. But it's functional and we can use it just fine. Let's see. We might want to... Oh boy, we're not going to make it all the way around. So I think what we're going to want to do is we're going to actually want to just lift this back up. And we're going to have to kind of just park this back here for right now. And we're going to have to go hitchhiking to go grab our tractor. So I will meet you at the farm. All right, we made it up into the farm. That was kind of a hike, a little out of breath. So we're going to go grab our truck and we're going to go hook up to our Parker 2500 wagons over here. So let's go get that stuff situated and we can go hopefully unload that sucker into there and see where we're sitting at from there. So let's go get that thing hooked up. Now we do have 2 of them. They're down back behind the bin. So let's go grab those. All right, so we got both of the Parker 2500 bushel gravity wagons. Real life growing up, this is what my dad had right here. So we had, that's what we had. This is a Parker 2500, just like that. Let's make our way over to the combine and get that stuff picked up. We're working on it, cows. We're trying to get you something to eat. So we're kind of just, we're working away. All right, let's get kind of pulled up underneath him here. Like so. And shut the truck off. Get the combine fired back up. We could have just left it running, but all right, there we go. We're unloading. Perfect. We'll get these first few here unloaded wagons, then we'll bring them back to the farm, and then we'll have to actually, probably what we'll do is we'll grab one of the tractors and hook that up, and then we can kind of run that back and forth to get that stuff all delivered to the grain bins over there. All right, we got that one going. Let's get this thing fired up. Drop you back down, and away we go again. I do like the attention to detail on this map. It is a gorgeous map. If you guys haven't heard that yet, it's a gorgeous map. Let's hook up to the wagons back here and go bring it down there so that way we can start unloading. And then we should be able to hopefully catch up to the combine and get a couple more loads here. So let's see how well we have everything set up down here. Hopefully we can get this all squared away. Hopefully this works. That's the better thing. I'm hoping this all works. So let's try to get lined up here. We do have to turn that tractor on, so that's going to be the thing there as well. So I'm going to hop out here and get this thing all fired up. Oh my goodness, the 856. Listen to that thing just purr. Listen to it just purr. Sounds beautiful. That's a nice looking tractor right there. All right, get back in here and let's see if we can get this thing to dump. How about that? And maybe not. Why can we not dump? Are we on the wrong one? How are we gonna do this here, guys? Let's go around this way. Hopefully we don't run over any... Whoa! Yeah, so I figured out, took us a little bit here, but we found a drive-overable unload, basically, and we kind of make things work here. So it is kind of shaky at first, but we'll get this to work. So we're gonna unload this here. We'll unload you. There we go. Everything's working as it should. Heck yeah. All right, so that is loading up into the bin there. Nice. That is real fancy. It would be kind of nice if you left that up and then it would just drain back like that, but this is working just fine, so we can't complain too much. 856 is just a puffing that black old smoke. There we go. We'll have to readjust that later, but you guys didn't see that. So let's hop into here. That one's just about done. That unloads pretty dang quick. Let's see. Let's buzz around this direction. He's making his final rounds. Whoa, that really just pushed us there. I think we need more weight up front on this thing. Definitely should probably put the bigger weights up there since we got all that load back there. Kind of just maneuver out of the way. Yeah, I think we're going to need to put a little heavier weights up on the front up here. So that way we don't get pushed around as much. Alright, he's on his way here. I'm thinking he might start his up and down paths here when he's done with that. So let's maybe just kind of catch him to get him unloaded. Not sure his speed. He's running probably close to 6, 7, 8 miles an hour. right, let's turn this bad boy off. Go hop into this tractor and we'll take it up into the yard there and get this stuff all... Oh yeah, we got some bushels, man. We got some bushels. All right, looks like we can try to make it now. Hammer down, let's go. I think we want to put heavier weights on the front. And possibly maybe some duals on this baby. Although I kind of like the narrowness of this in a way. Duals? I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we put duals on this tractor? Or should we leave it as is and just put some weights on the front? Let me know down in the comments down below what we should maybe try to do with this tractor. Leave it or put duals on. All right, let's get this bad boy unloaded. The other thing we need to do is we need to check to see what we're doing with these bins. Are they just storing? They better... I don't think they're... I don't think that they are... let's see. Let's get to that one. There we go. We're going to have to readjust, I think. We're going to have to readjust some of this stuff. This drive over is nice, but I wish it would, like, actually stay in place a little bit nicer. But it is what it is. Not that big of a deal. Just trying to figure out how we should possibly rearrange some of this so that way we can fit this stuff a little bit nicer. It is just a little too long if we go on the other side of the bins. Doesn't seem like there's enough room for some of that stuff, but maybe we get something figured out. I'll have to play around with that a little bit later. I do like the way that that thing unloads that quick. All right, let's hop up into the map and let's actually take a look. Let's see, we're in this bin. Let's manage that. Storing. So we want to activate and we are just storing it. That's what we want to do. So that'll be good. Let's take the corn out of that one because we're just going to leave that one for wheat. And let's go to this next one will be corn storage. The cool thing about these bins is they do the drying effect, but you have to activate them and then make sure that you are having the stuff set to what you need them to. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool on this map. So eventually we will get some corn to that point and be able to, you know, get some dry corn and maybe probably, I think the price is a lot better for them as well with the dry corn. You get a little bit higher price when it's wet like that. You dry it down. You don't get knocked at the co-op as much for them having to dry it. So on the way back to the farm we go, finish up that field, and then we should be able to maybe do some baling, do some grass cutting, that type of stuff, maybe. We'll see what kind of time we have left in the day. All right, making our last little pass here. Looks like we're gonna have a full pass and another partial of a path to get this field completed, and then we need to go bring everything back up to the yard, get things resituated, and figure out what's the next thing that we need to do here on the farm. coming up to the last full pass here. We have a little bit back here that we need to get, which shouldn't be any of an issue. So we'll kind of whip back around here. We'll pick that straight up. Kind of forgot we were putting down a straw swath there, but hey, it'll be okay. We'll eventually just pick up enough here. I wonder kind of how many bales of straw we're going to get out of this. Is one field going to be enough to kind of support everything? I'm not quite sure. That's part of the farm learning process. All right, man, that feels good. Got this whole field of wheat done. We'll just pick the head up here and we'll kind of let that finish running out on the end. We'll shut the header off and let's head on over and get this unloaded into the first gravity wagon up there. Perhaps we might be only have to fill that front one. We are sitting at 21%. We were 71% full, so I think we'll be able to fit everything in there, I'm hoping. If everything is mathing correctly, we should be able to fit it in there, but we'll find out if the mathing is correct. All right, here we go. Let's find out. Let's fold that in so we don't accidentally fold that into the back one. Yeah, there's got to be something with like the trigger that doesn't allow that thing to completely catch itself. All right, we're getting the combine back up into the yard. Let's just pull it up here to the shop and just make sure. We'll just kind of check everything over and just kind of make sure that nothing is broken, anything like that, before we kind of put the header away here. So we'll just kind of, you know, give it a quick once over. While we're up here, everything looked like I said earlier, everything looked fine. Nothing looked like it was broken. All the teeth are there. The cutting edges look nice. The snouts, we didn't dig any of the snouts into the ground, so that's good. All right, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you guys for hanging out. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up to the channel. Also, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.